So I was on live stream and everybody was bombarding me with questions about a Jalen Tolbert trade being rumored. And I was trying to figure out where in the heck did this rumor even come from? What was the genesis of this rumor? Was there any legitimacy to it? And I've tried my best to figure out where it could have possibly spawned. I've tried my best to figure out anywhere that is telling us from a legitimate source that this is a real thing that's happening. And I've only found a couple of things, and one of them ain't a legitimate source at all. And the other is literally just conversations that other people are having, the same conversations that we're all having as fans, by the way, as we're watching the preseason and the training camp unfold, and we're all realizing that, hey, we may have found something with a Treshaun Holden, who's a 6'2", 6'3", 215-pound big body receiver. Hey, Ron Flournoy has been looking good so far. Hey, Jalen Tolbert looks kind of average. He looks very, very much so replaceable. And I think that's just kind of where this rumor spawned from, y'all, because I tried. I really tried. There's no legitimate source. There's no legitimate place where this rumor is coming from. And I can assure you, an Instagram account or a content creator, anybody else like that, they don't know nobody within the organization high enough to where this is legit. I have really tried to find something for y'all. So with that being said, let's get into today's show about a potential Jalen Tolbert trade, the possibility of that actually happening, and why this conversation is actually taking place. Shut your up. All right, y'all. So this is pretty much the most solid thing I could actually find as it pertains to a potential Jalen Tolbert trade is on the dockets, and no shade to DC coverage, no shade to this Instagram page right here, but this page has 5,000 followers, bro. 5,000 followers. Again, I'm not trying to crap on it, but bro, I have more followers than that. I literally have almost 10,000 followers on my Instagram. So what makes this page extremely reputable to the point to where everybody is taking it for real? I don't understand why everybody's reacting to this or even looking at this as something that could actually happen. Yes, Brian Schottenheimer said Treshaun Holden is moving up the Dallas Cowboys depth chart. But also, if we really look at it, there's literally more than just Jalen Tolbert ahead of Treshaun Holden on the depth chart. So I'm not sure why we instantly jump to, oh, he's jumping up above Jalen Tolbert. That's made him expendable in the eyes of the team. Even if we as fans, we can look at Jalen Tolbert and we feel like, oh, he's not physical enough. He doesn't command his own space enough. He doesn't finish his routes well at the top of them. He doesn't really have any traits that stand out above anybody else that makes him more than average, right? You can look at Jalen Tolbert and we can say all that, but realistically speaking, y'all, if we actually look at this, Treshaun Holden is listed as a third-team receiver right now at the X position. There are literally 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers. 4 receivers. We can look at the depth chart and say, hey, they are probably ahead of Treshaun Holden in the pecking order. When Shotty said, hey, Treshaun Holden is moving up the depth chart, he easily could have meant he's moving up ahead of Jalen Brooks. He easily could have meant he's moving up ahead of Jalen Cropper. Y'all got to remember, this was an undrafted free agent. He and Josh Kelly, so they essentially started at the bottom of the depth chart in the first place. Shotty just let us know, yeah, he's moving it up, but by no means did he tell us he's moving into the top 4. By no means did they tell us that he's going to make someone that by all accounts was penciled in as being your wide receiver 3. By no means did he tell us that what Treshaun Holden was doing has made them that confident to get rid of a guy that not only the organization likes, because Shotty has mentioned Jalen Tolbert and talked about how he just seems to do the right thing. He literally was just talking about how he seems to do the right things and stuff like that, like last week at some point. But Dak Prescott is best friends with Jalen Tolbert. And again, there's no actual source, no real source for this news. This is the type of thing I don't like doing with y'all. I don't like just talking about rumors for the sake of talking about rumors. We're going to bring up a trade rumor. We're going to bring up anything. It's because either the Joneses have talked about they're working on something, so we start trying to figure it out and put the pieces together and figure out what is it that they're working on, or there's actually somebody reputable that has come out and said something or alluded to that something is in the works, right? None of this is happening right here. Even if you drop this whole thing down, bro, there's nothing. It says, to me, this makes sense for many reasons. And the only thing that says there are rumors flaring that the Dallas Cowboys have had talks regarding wide receiver Jalen Tolbert and the trade. Literally, there's nothing within this big paragraph that adds any legitimacy to this. So I apologize to all of y'all that watched any other content or seen this news floating around on the internet and y'all got excited and were like, oh, we got something going on. Y'all, even if something does end up happening right now, there's no legit reason to think that anything is happening. This is the source that a lot of people are using as saying, like, oh, this is why we think that this is going to happen. And if it's not this one, then it's going to be this 105.3 The Fan clip, which if we listen to this, we can listen to it together real quick. If we listen to this clip, even this, not sure where people are getting, a trade is for sure coming.
Hey,
take a listen.
The question isn't how do I get Trayshawn Holden on the roster. The question is how do I get Jalen Tolbert off the roster?
What did he do in the game? 2 for 42?
2 for 42. He had the big catch. He had the 35-yard catch. He is.
Schottenheimer said he's moving up the depth chart after the game. He said that.
And you do, like, honestly, when you look at guys that you may move, you've got Turpin, Pickens, Lamb. They're in.
Yeah.
That they're not going anywhere. Behind that, it's Tolbert. It's Mingo, who you just gave up a 4th-round pick for, and who had
he beat him.
The ridiculous got open, and then you had the underthrow. But you've got Mingo. You've got Flanoy, who they just drafted last year in the 5th round. They could move off of that for sure, but usually they'll give guys a little bit of latitude to do that.
Yeah.
And so as you start looking at it, it's like it might be Tolbert time. And that's somebody who might have some value as the team goes, you know what? He caught 50 balls last year. He could work in.
Right. And that makes sense from the standpoint of he's the only guy in your receiver room that has any trade value. That makes sense from that standpoint. But the other thing, guys, they've never actually traded a player that's supposed to play a meaningful role on their team. They've never traded a player this late or early or this point in the offseason. They have never traded a guy and made that type of move. Like, when is the last time the Cowboys made that type of move where they traded anybody in the middle of the training camp period like this, especially a guy that's supposed to be a big contributor? I can't remember the last time they did that. So there's not a track record or recent history that shows that this is something that's possible. There's not a reputable source out there discussing this. It's literally everyone just having conversations based off of how other guys played, which I understand. But as far as trying to act like I'm breaking news or trying to sit here and act like that I know something that y'all don't know, I would be lying if I sit up here and did that. I'm not going to do that to y'all. I'm going to let y'all know when I'm as clueless as y'all are as it pertains to how this type of thing happened. Because, I mean, I know a couple people, too, I can text. And, again, there's nothing here.
You need a receiver. I think if you're looking for a depth-for-depth trade, I would start calling teams about their corners if they're in need of receiver and just seeing if they would take Tolbert for a corner.
Give me the size comparison and we want to match up and balance skill sets in the room. So, like, Jalen, what he does versus Holden and size-wise, so I don't have too many of one.
So, Trayshawn Holden is going to be, if you're
6'3"?
Yeah, if you're concerned about, if you're talking about not wanting too many of the other, then Holden is kind of build-wise and the way he works and gets up, it's similar to Mingo.
Yeah, it is.
So if you've already got Mingo, you may say, well, do I want...
Trayshawn Holden doesn't look that damn big, though. He don't look that big, but I guess he is.
Two guys like that. So Tolbert's 6'1", they say 195. He might be a little lighter than that. Holden is heavier, I think, than the 6'2.5", 205 he's listed.
Yeah, I mean, y'all. I mean, that's essentially all it is. It's just 105.3 talking about it in a random Instagram account with 5,000 followers, bro, has talked about it. So I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all had y'all hopes up and y'all got excited and, something's about to happen. But as of right now, y'all, there is nothing for real cooking, bro. It's just conversations that we all having as fans, bro. So just got to make that very clear. There's been no actual conversations and steam taking place or reported, at least, to this point. Either way, appreciate y'all tuning in. Until next time, how about them Cowboys? My bad. I'm sorry, y'all getting y'all emotions played with like this.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.